It aggravates my disease. I have other reasons, but it's the one I most revert to because I don't want to, usually doesn't cut it for whatever reason.
Same. A lot of people still insist on me drinking, which is weird. They then tell me that maybe it'll make it better if I have a drink to forget my medical condition. No, that's not how this works. Lol. Shitty part is, I used to love having a couple beers every now and then. I'm on month 9 of forced sobriety. Can't even have caffeine.
And it interferes with the heroin.
Ooh, yay, don't mix downers.
I met my quota 15 years ago. I drank all of the alcohol I was allotted for life and probably some of your quota too, so I had to stop.
I hate telling people that I don't drink because then they ask that question. I usually tell people I don't feel like drinking right now. Not only do I not feel like drinking now, I don't feel like drinking ever again. The real answer is, when I start I can't seem to stop, and health concerns. People get so defensive about why drinking alcohol is okay, I don't get it. Like, you make your decisions and let me make mine.
It's almost as if, by not drinking, you are telling them that they are lesser people. It's totally wrong, of course.
Because none of you can stop me when I black out.
That's what I tell people. I get punchy when I drink, so I don't drink.
The fact you are that self-aware. Respect. Thank you for not being another angry drunk.
This is the thing I've realized. I never drank, mostly familial alcoholism as my excuse, but I finally tried weed for the first time recently. I'm 32, and it turns out I deeply dislike anything even slightly altering my perception of reality. I recognize that I have a bad tendency to be controlling and try to ease up at work and in relationships, but I will not apologize for requiring that I always be in control of myself.
I feel like you described me.
Had an alcoholic parent. Turned me off drinking completely.
Grew up being told that the most brilliant man I could have ever met was my grandfather. And he died the year before I was born due to alcoholism. My parents had already cut ties with that part of the family for all kinds of alcohol and drug issues, cousins that couldn't stay out of jail for more than a month, etc. I tell people that my body doesn't process alcohol very well and could hospitalize me. Most don't press after that. In reality, I can only handle the equivalent of 1 beer before I start to feel uncomfortable and hot, and I've never really felt any kind of encouragement to push through that. I owned a liquor store. I've seen the worst aspects of alcoholism. People coming in still wearing the hospital gown.
Worked at a liquor store when I was young. I can second this. We opened at 9 a.m. and every day the same homeless drunks would come in for their pints of booze at opening time. Our cashier would have the pints of cheap booze ready for them daily. She knew what was coming. Second story, same store. I rented a house across the street, a few houses in from the liquor store, before I worked at the liquor store. Well, I'm working at the store for a few months and I realize my landlord, who lives in the upstairs unit of the duplex, is a regular at the liquor store. I quickly realized he was buying 1.75 L of vodka every few days. For himself. I'll never forget the time I last saw him alive. He walked into the liquor store for his usual 2 handles of Burnett's vodka. His skin was green. Very deep yellow-green. At that point of my life I didn't know what cirrhosis was. I do now. Rip Pete.
Casual drinkers know when the liquor store closes. Alcoholics know when it opens.
Nothing like staying up all night and going 7-Eleven for beer at 5:59 a.m. People are coming in for coffee to start their productive days. You look like hammered dog shit because you've been taking her out all night. Now you just desperately want a drink till you crash. Those were the days. Hope you are doing better now.
Oh God, yeah. I worked in a liquor store in college and it turned me right off the partying scene. Then the friend base out, as well. Turns out I didn't miss them. The weathermen from all 3 major affiliate stations were a horrific sight without the makeup and spray-on tans. Pallid skin tone, looked like walking corpses. Their wrists and hands had this weird thinness and lack of motor skills and strength. Then there was the guy that drank a half-gallon of vodka a day. He ended up dead. I'll have a drink every once in a while, but I actually tell people I don't know that I don't drink if offered a bar hopping opportunity. When they ask, I answer, why do you care? It really depends on how annoyed I get at how nosy they're being. In descending order, I'm not a fan. I have a family history. They don't have enough booze in the bar for me, wink wink, and my favorite, the truth bomb, because I'm an alcoholic, and if I start now, you won't see or hear from me again for, at least, 2 weeks.
1 is too many and 12 is not enough.
Alcoholism can't be diagnosed by strangers on the internet.
Lol, I've had strangers on the internet diagnose me with ovarian cancer. I'm a guy.
I'm so sorry to hear that. It must be very difficult for you. Wishing you all the best.
I'm not allowed to drink in this state. Not since the incident.
Except you gotta emphasize that the incident, so it sounds capitalized.
Alcohol works really well at getting people pregnant. 2 of my 3 kids owe their existence to alcohol. Should have named them after the drinks you had.
This is my daughter Brandy, the eldest, our middle boy Jack Daniel, and the youngest frozen strawberry sriracha margarita.
I am 14. That is the age most people in Germany get started.